Hi everyone, myself Bidyutlata Sahoo, working as an assistant professor in the Department of CSC, Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning at Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. Today I will discuss about the introductory part of the fuzzy logic. In my previous video already I have introduced about the fuzzy logic. This is the extension video for the previous class. Here today I am going to discuss about the formal definition of fuzzy logic, few features of the fuzzy logic and sample example of fuzzy logic, and applications, advantages and disadvantages. This is the topic learning outcome for this particular topic. So after the completion of the topic, students can discuss the fundamental concepts of fuzzy logic to handle uncertainty and imprecise information in decision-making processes. So as I discussed in my previous video, you might have understood what is the meaning of imprecise information. Once again, I am letting you know, imprecise, first of all, the fuzzy logic can handle all uncertain situation. Means whenever the situation is very fuzzy, which is not certain. Imprecise information means it is related to the data or the knowledge which does not have the exactness or which does not have the precise values. That things can be handled by the fuzzy logic because those things are very difficult to take the appropriate decision. So that is why fuzzy logic can handle the uncertainty as well as the imprecise information. If I give one example like the temperature is warm, and if I say the temperature is 25 degrees, so which one is imprecise? Imprecise is like the temperature is warm. We do not know what is the meaning of warm. We know that as a human being, our brain accepts what is the meaning of warm, but computer does not accept. So that is why if I say our temperature is 25 degrees, definitely everybody can understand as well as system can also understand. So that is the difference between imprecise term and precise terms. Precise means which is certain, which is having some exact value. Imprecise means which does not have any exact value. So that can be understandable by the fuzzy logic. This is the formal definition of fuzzy logic. So fuzzy logic, it is a computational approach based upon the degree of truthness. First of all, it is a computational approach because it is a combination of mathematical framework, it is a combination of set theory, and it is a approximation reasoning, truth-based system, as well as soft computing also. So that is why it is called as the computational approach, because all the computations are taken place inside the fuzzy logic rather than the traditional binary logic of truth and false, because traditional binary logic understand only two values, either true or false, whereas the fuzzy logic which can assign which does not assign exact true or exact false, it assign the value which is called as the degree of truthness. The degree of truthness, the values ranges between 0 to 1. So 0, it may be 0.5 or it may be 0.7 or it may be 0.9. But all the values, these values are called as the degree of truthness that depends upon the priority of the word. So that is why it is called as the degree of truth. It allows the reasoning with imprecise, uncertain or vague information by assigning the values 0 and 1 to represent the partial truth. It does not give the exact value, it gives the approximate value or the partial values in between 0 and 1. These are the key features of fuzzy logic. First of all, it is related to the mathematical framework. Why it is related to mathematical framework? Because fuzzy logic is built on the fuzzy set theory. So to understand the fuzzy logic and the membership function, we should have the minimum knowledge of mathematics, especially the set theory. So fuzzy logic is built on the fuzzy set theory. I will discuss after 2 classes. Providing a structured way to handle the uncertainty, computationally. As well as another feature is approximate reasoning. It enables decision making based on the partial truth values, which is essential for many AI and control applications. It is also wide applicable, means wide applicability. It is used in artificial intelligence, it is used in robotics, it is used in the control systems, even it is used in the expert systems. So fuzzy logic helps in modeling human-like reasoning. In every irrespective of any domain or any areas, fuzzy logic can handle or it can reason the human thought process, and it can assign the degree of truthness between 0 and 1. It can handle uncertainty, means it works with approximate values instead of the absolute one. As I have already discussed, absolute means either true or false. But instead of assigning truth or false value, exact truth and exact false, it approximates between true and false value. That is why it handles uncertainty. It uses the linguistic variable like the term like hot, the temperature is hot, cold, fast, slow. These are the terms. As it is not understandable by the machine, it makes the machine understand using its logic. So instead of precise numbers. And it is a rule-based system. Basically, to understand the fuzzy logic, one thing is the mathematics, that is set theory is required. Another one is the if then else. So that is why it is called as the rules-based system. For every uncertain situation, the rule will be framed using if then else rule to make the decision. And as well as it makes the human reason here, mimics the human reasoning. It works similar to humans make decisions in real world situation, as well as soft computing integration. It works well with the neural network, genetic algorithm, and other AI techniques to solve complex problems. As we know that neural network is one of the algorithm in machine learning which is having the self-adaptability and self-learning capability. How it is possible? That is why it is applicable to solve the complex problems. So that is why neural network applies fuzzy logic to understand its concept. This is a sample example of fuzzy logic. This is a picture of the controlling a fan. If we apply the conventional method, means traditional method like Boolean method, how we can write the logic for this particular diagram? Here in this box, what is given? Fan is given and sensor is given. So this is a room where fan is present and sensor is also there. This is the controller which controls the fan speed. So sensor, what is the meaning of sensor here? Sensor always senses the out temperature of the room. Okay, so for this room the temperature can be received through the sensors. Then the value which is received by the sensor, it will be passed to the controller. Okay, so sensor, how it accepts the input? It accepts the input in the form of the real number values. Okay, so these real values in the form of maybe 30 degree, maybe 45 degree, or it may be 32 degree. So all these values will be passed to the controller. Controller does not understand those values. So those values will be converted into 0 and 1 format. Depending upon the values, then the controller tries to increase the fan speed or decrease the fan speed. So here inside for building this controller of this fan, this fuzzy logic can be applied. But in the conventional approach, we can write, suppose if the temperature is more than, suppose for X we'll write more than 30 degree, then run the fan or else stop the fan. Okay, for normal AC, the ACs which we were using before 30 years or before 40 years, this was the condition. Either it will be switched on, it will be switched off. That depends upon one threshold value. That threshold value may be 30 degree or maybe 45 degree. If that temperature is more than 30 degree, then we can set or we can configure the controller like this. It will run the fan or else it will stop the fan. But in case of the fuzzy logic, that doesn't happen. That depends upon the temperature. How much temperature the sensor is sensing, that depends. For example, we can set the minimum temperature as 20 degree and the maximum temperature is 35 degree. So if the minimum temperature, it will switch off completely, it will switch off the AC. If it is 35 degree, it will be running with the full speed, like then, and in between suppose 20 to 25 degree, so it will increase, like the fan speed maybe like it may be 25 degree. If it increases to 30 degrees, suppose it will decrease to like 20 degree. So like this the AC temperature will be decreased, and that can be done using the controller, and these degrees are also not understandable by the controller, so everything will be assigned with the value of 0 and 1. So in between, so if it is the maximum value, if it's 20 degree, then we can set it as 0, and for this value we can represent it, and in between whatever the values can be assigned like 0.5 or 0.3, 0.5. So like this all these values can be assigned. So controller which is used inside the AC, or the controller which is used in the washing machine, all are using the fuzzy logic to handle the uncertain situation. You can see the system what the fuzzy logic says. If the temperature is very hot or it is hot, run the fan at full speed. If the temperature is warm, run fan at moderate speed. If the temperature is comfortable, maintain the fan speed. And if the temperature is cool, slow down the fan. And if the temperature is cold, stop the fan. So normally a person says the temperature is hot or the temperature is cold, but the fuzzy logic is a new concept which is applicable in all the commercial machines or any kind of gadgets. So as per the human brain or as per our perception, like these linguistic variables, we can assign, or the fuzzy logic can assign some numerical values between 0 and 1. Accordingly, the controller works. So these are the few applications where the fuzzy logic is used. Especially it is used in businesses for decision making support. It is also used in automotive systems for controlling the traffic speed and for improving the efficiency of automatic transmission. Automotive system also use the shift scheduling method for automatic transmission. And this concept is also used in the defense in various areas. Like defense mainly uses the fuzzy logic systems for underwater target recognition and the automatic target recognition of the thermal infrared images. Fuzzy logic system also used in the securities. It is also used in the microwave oven for setting the Leon's power and cooking strategy. This technique is used in modern control systems like the expert system. It is used in the vacuum cleaner and the timing of washing machine. These are normally we used to observe this vacuum cleaner and the washing machine. The temperature or the flowing of water, it may increase or it may decrease. That depends upon the dirtiness of the clothes. Automatically, nowadays we are using the automatic machine. Why? What is the meaning of automatic? Automatically it receives the water and it cleans and it dries off also. But the technology which is used inside the circuit, that is nothing but the fuzzy logic. Okay. Normally people are saying this is AI enabled AC. What is the meaning of AI enabled AC? Means that depends upon the temperature of the room. Automatically it senses the temperature of the room and accordingly it sets its fan and automatically decreases down also. That is why they are called as AI enabled ACs. So it is also used in the heater, air conditioner and humidifier also. These are the few advantages of the fuzzy logic. The methodology of this concept works similarly as the human reasoning. As our mind perceives, the same thing can be represented in the form of inside the machine also using fuzzy logic. Any user can easily understand the structure of the fuzzy logic. There is no requirement of learning all artificial intelligence concepts. Anybody can understand. And it does not need a large memory because the algorithm can be easily described with fewer data. It is widely used in all the areas in all the domain of life and easily provides the effective solutions to the problem which have the high complexity. This concept is based upon the theory of mathematics, set theory of mathematics. This is very important because it's related to set theory. So that is why it is very simple, because set theory is understandable by the students also, because in their schooling they are studying the set theory. So that is why fuzzy logic is very easy to understand. and it allows the user for controlling the control machines and consumer products. As I have already told, how it is used in the washing machine, how it is used in the air conditioner, how it is used in the rice cooker, how it is used in the microwave oven. The development time of fuzzy logic is very short as compared to the conventional method. Due to this flexibility, any user can easily add and delete the rule in fuzzy logic system, because fuzzy logic is, first of all, it is based upon the set theory, mathematical set theory. Another thing is it is based upon the rules, and those rules can be written using the if then else. So depending upon the requirement of the user, or depending upon the situation, or depending upon the scenario, the rules can be either added, or it can be deleted, or it can be modified. So these options are there in case of the fuzzy logic. As we have so many advantages, few disadvantages are also there in fuzzy logic. The runtime of the fuzzy logic system is very slow, and it takes lots of time to produce the output, because it has to process, it has to understand the linguistic term from the user, then it can convert into 0 and 1 format. That is why it takes some time. Users can understand it easily if they are very simple, and the probabilities produced by the fuzzy logic system are not always accurate, they are approximate. Many researchers give various ways for solving a given statement using this technique, which leads to the ambiguity. Fuzzy logic are not suitable for those problems that require high accuracy, like in military, or in metro train. Those are the systems which are the real-time systems. There we cannot use the fuzzy logic. Normally in all the home appliances or in any electronic gadget we can use, but the system which requires more accurate answer, in that case we cannot use the fuzzy logic. So I hope you might have understood this particular video, where I discussed or I introduced about the fuzzy logic, as well as I gave one example. I gave so many examples how in our daily life the fuzzy logic is used, how the concept of fuzzy logic is applied in all electronic gadgets which we use in our at our home. So for the preparation of this video, I referred this book Saroscosic for Artificial Intelligence, as well as this YouTube channel which is visible on the screen. I hope you might have enjoyed. So next class I will discuss about the crisp set, then I will go for fuzzy set, then I'll go for membership function, and I will finish the fuzzy logic part. So thank you so much.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.